Well, we have a couple things we're going to do here today. First, I was going to make some pigs in a blanket, which I've already shown those. But the kids were, oh, we want some bacon too. So we're going to make these little treats here. We use the little Smokies. Take some bacon, wrap it. I was supposed to use toothpicks, but that looks like that's sticking pretty good. And you just take some brown sugar and you coat it pretty decent there. And we throw them right on there. They're supposed to take about 50 minutes. So we're gonna make these, and what's left over after I get done wrapping these with bacon, I'm gonna make pigs in a blanket. So while I'm doing that, everybody make sure to like and subscribe. We need some more viewers here. If you have some kind of request, something you remember that your mom or dad or grandma used to cook that you want to know how to make, leave a comment and we'll see if we can't make some of that happen. So a lot of my channel here, it started out like when I was a kid. I used to help my mom make food, and I know like my sister and brother, when they were around, they would cook stuff, probably kind of trying to show off what they could do. And I remember helping. A lot of times it was things like this, wrapping something up, and or making cookies, sitting there mixing the dough. But I learned a lot when I was a kid. A lot of kids these days, they don't do that kind of stuff. They're busy playing their games. Without having videos or shows like this, a lot of that knowledge gets lost. Quite a few of the things I've had on here, like the chicken casserole, if the kids can't watch a video of how to do it, then later on down the road they're not going to figure out how to do it, or going to be a big learning curve. That's part of the reason why I've made a lot of my cooking videos. It's been pretty cold out here, so I've been making cooking videos. Not much going on outside. 0 to -20. Getting too old to be out in all that, but it should be warming up pretty soon. I have ordered quite a bit of things for the garden. We've always had a small garden, mainly just to teach the kids. A lot of times tomatoes, green peppers. This last year we had a lot of pumpkins. They came in a little too early. They were done, I think, about the end of July, and so I think we actually painted them in about September, which helped them to last through and be there like when it was Halloween time. But if we wouldn't have painted the pumpkins, they would have already been rotted. I do know we're going to try to raise some, I think they're called ufas, which they're a sponge. I always thought they came from the sea, but they're like the sponges that they used to sell when I was a kid. You can still get them, but they grow and they almost look like a cucumber, or I think they're in the squash family. But after they become, you can eat them when they're young. When they become all the way ripe and produce their seeds, then they have, it's a sponge looking. I figured it'd be something cool for the kids to make, and you normally use them for doing the dishes or when you take a bath. They're those scrubby sponges. So we'll be raising some of those. I ordered some more fruit trees. So this last year we had a pretty good production out of our peach tree, and the second peach tree should be producing something this year. Last year it had came up, but in the springtime the deer had chewed on it a little bit too much, so there wasn't any like fresh sprouts, and so there weren't really any peaches on it. And I ordered a few more apple trees. The apple tree on my property is looking pretty rough. I have a transparent apple, which is a really early apple tree. A lot of times the bugs tend to get to it. I'm going to try to spray it with its clay, so it should keep the bugs out of the apples so we can actually do something with them. And I ordered some plum trees, and I'll be planting those, which they're supposed to be 2-year-old plants, so it'll take probably another 2 years before we get anything out of them. But we got plenty of property to plant a lot of trees like that and them still be out of the way. Get some more brown sugar here. I've just been rolling me some brown sugar. I had to wait for the furnace to turn off. So I have them already on the pan. I put them in the oven at 350. I set the timer for 40 minutes. They're supposed to take about 50 minutes. I want to check on them though, turn them a little bit early. And now I'm just making the pigs in a blanket. I have another video showing these, but pretty much you just use crescent roll and you just take it, I start on the end, I will spin it around to where it looks pretty good, like it's going to make one around it. Pop it off there, take this other part, and I still try to kind of go triangle shape as much as I can. So you just want to get them wrapped up enough. Yeah, so we're getting prepared to do our garden and things. If there's something in particular you think it'd be cool to have the kids grow, I'm looking for things that are kind of, so we do tomatoes. They're pretty simple. Peppers, like red and green peppers. We did pumpkins last year. The big thing is just things that grow pretty quick that we can also use and cook with, that the kids can see us actually using. And it's mainly just about teaching them how to grow things. And it seems like when they grow, like the tomatoes and the different things, they want to use them in the food, and they're more likely to eat what we're growing than if we just take it out of a can. I do know this year I'm going to try to do some green beans. You know, we always like to do the Blue Lake green beans. My parents always liked to make those. They had a pretty good way of preserving them where we wouldn't can them. We would take them and half cook them in the crock pot and then use some bacon grease and you sear them, and then you can put them in the freezer and they won't freezer burn and they will stay for quite a long while. That bacon grease like seals the outside of them and then they don't get that freezer burn. I want to make a good video of that just because it's something that I know my parents always did, and then like preserving that for the kids to learn how to do it. And down the road, if they're doing their own garden, they can watch how we've done things when I was growing up, and it seems like that gives them a lot more joy. So if there's something particular you think we should grow, make sure to leave a comment. Something that you would want to learn how to preserve or use fresh out of the garden. We can come up with some recipes for things like that. And so if there's other recipes that you want to see us make, I'll better space it a little bit better, then just make sure to leave a comment, something you want to see us cook, something that you remember your grandparents making that you just don't remember how they did it, or you haven't found the right recipe. I know there's a lot of times I make up recipes where, like, I've got some old cookbooks, the old Betty Crocker cookbooks, and also like old Amish cookbooks. And a lot of times I swing by my mom's and I ask her, and she'll get out her mom's or grandma's recipes, and I kind of compare them and figure out how I want to make it. Once you've cooked enough, you realize like there's certain ingredients you want a lot of, certain ones that a little bit's good, but sometimes a lot of it, like, it stands out. Not something we commonly use. So, but make sure to like, subscribe, leave us some comments, things we be good to make or grow. get the kids involved in, and we'll see if we can make some videos happen. So we've got the oven on 350 here, and these are cooking. I'm going to throw them down here on the bottom. So they're supposed to cook, it says, for about 50 minutes. I am going to throw these down here. Let them pop up because there's not enough room on this other pan. And then we're going to throw these pigs in a blanket on in here. They need to cook for about 15 minutes. I'll cook them for about 10, and I'll pull it out and I will flip them over. A lot of time when I'm cooking biscuits or rolls or something, I will cook them like if it's 15 minutes. I'll cook them about 2/3 of the time, so about 9-10 minutes. And then I will pull it out and I will flip them over so they don't get that hard burnt on the bottom, but both sides are like the crispy brown. All right, so we'll set a timer here for 9 minutes. And then see when I flip these over. Ooh, there's steam. There we go. We're about 9 minutes in on this. Got about 20 minutes left on the other. See that how the bottom's already turning that golden brown. If you leave these and cook them all the way, they'll end up burning. Right here, right there on that edge of sticking. Flip those over. Just put these bad boys over. See the bottom's getting kind of done. There we go. Got some pickles and pigs in a blanket, ketchup, barbecue, mustard, and we got about 10 minutes to go on the bacon wrapped ones. Here we have the bacon ones. They're still
Where's my fork?
sizzling. So right there we are. Oh, look.